And I figured a good way to ease back into it is by playing one of my favorite games a little bit more casually than we did last time. So we're going to be back with Hollow Knight. Not trying to speedrun the game, because it turns out I am bad at that. I did warm up with Hollow Knight by doing a speedrun. In an hour and 55 minutes, I got to Umu, which is pretty good. It's just, you know, no less than, a full hour short of an actually good speedrun. No shade skips? We might do some shade skips, right? I am not discounting the possibility of 6 shade skip strats. But what we are doing basically is we are doing what I'm going to dub a historical tour. So, what does that actually mean for us? This is going to be near 100%. I don't know that I'll get everything, but we're going to try and do near 100% over the next bunch of streams. And as we do it, we're just going to be talking, you know, as someone trained in history, cultural heritage studies, monumental studies, etc. What am I noticing? And see if we can pick apart a little bit of how Hollow Knight does its world building and how it makes Hallownest look so damn lived in. So, we can also look at like what our different sources are for information about Hallownest. Basically, you know, while we are not Mossbag, while we are not the lore expert, seeing what we can piece together as we wander about with our definitely not a trowel. Right, I know it says it's a nail, but we're going to pretend it's a trowel. And so, kind of doing a little bit of in-game archaeology, doing a little bit of in-game historical analysis, hanging out, having a good time. Also, just talking about other stuff that's happened, because there's a lot, as it turns out. Lots of stuff has happened. And little Ginger Birdie, good to see you. I appreciate you coming to join us. I hope that's your D&D campaign's going well. You're imagining me as a bug tour guide with one of those little flags on a stick? True. Leading us, the tour group, who are also bugs. See, Lem is super interesting. I have strong feelings about what Lem does. Because I have strong feelings about the private collecting industry. And also, I think the private collecting industry is an interesting lens into Lem, because I don't know that Lem is 100% reliable as a source. Like, he's kind of chill. Kind of a big fan of him. But I also don't know that he's 100% reliable as a source. And so, right, that's one of the things we can examine, is, you know, who, in our various, like, historical sources, right, Lem, Bardoon, the White Palace, the White Queen, a bunch of those folks. Those people who are telling us about Hallownest's past, how much of that is gelling with other sources of information? I think that is super interesting, and, you know, it's a good training exercise, because the reason why we do this in terms of, like, broad, high-level philosophy stuff, is, right, this is good training for the much messier worlds of actual historical settings in games, because this is fictional, and so the past is all constructed in a very much more intentional way than real-world histories are constructed, and so we can kind of use this as a training ground. And so when we go back to historical settings in media, we have a toolkit that's been practiced to actually think about those and evaluate our sources. So that's fun. Also, we get to be cute bugs, and we love that. So, everyone settle in, get cozy. I have iced Burmese that sentence got away from me. I have Burmese iced tea today, which is freaking delicious. So I hope everyone else has their nice cozy drinks. And yeah, let's just hop into it, right? Let's hop into it. Brand new game. Let's go. Get yourself some tea. Even if it's warm outside, that just means it has to be iced tea. You just had your 5th cup of black tea. This is the way. Anyway. In wilds beyond, they speak your name with reverence and regret, for none could tame our savage souls, yet you the challenge met. Under Palest watch you taught we changed, base instincts were redeemed, a world you gave to bug and beast as they had never dreamed. From Elegy for Hollownest, by Monomon, the teacher. Minnesota. Classic. I heard Colorado did the same thing, and it was like, this is the most predictable thing in the world. It's April, anywhere where that actually has seasons, which means you get both seasons at the same time, and it's bad. Ugh. That looked painful. Why is anyone surprised they always gripe about... Well, look, griping about the weather is a time-honored tradition. Minnesota went from 80 to 40 in less than a day. Yeah, I heard Colorado did the exact same thing, where I went from about 75 to getting a significant amount of snow in a span of about 24 hours. True, Jacusta, I guess that would make sense that it'd be much the same for you. Just griping, look. That's fair. No one should be surprised. But when I heard that from one of my course mates today who's in Colorado, I was just like, oh. Oh, it's so familiar. Alright, nice and casual. Let's Stag. I am ashamed. I missed the easy jump. Higher beings, these words are for you alone. Your great strength marks you amongst us. Focus your soul, and you can achieve feats of what others can only dream. God, I remember, like, 4 years ago, there was so much argumentation as to who's the heck the higher being. Who is the higher being in this sentence? Because there is a spicy train of thought that says it is the player. Nah, not our little bug. Yeah. My friend, Aaron, does Bugfriend have a name? No. He's Bugfriend. Bugnet. Have you seen the Mossbag debunks MatPat? I kind of make a point of not watching MatPat these days. I'll be honest. So no, I have not. Because why would I... That would involve watching MatPat. Bugfriend Q, bug friendly. True. Fat. Up. Yeah, right, Little Shadow, is the other one that we hear a lot. Right? We hear, right? The community seems to either call Little Bug Knight the MC, right? So just the main character, the Knight, or in game, the one you hear. I'm so bad. The one you hear a lot is Little Shadow. Higher beings, these words are for you alone. Within our lands, do not hide your true form. Let all bask in your majesty, for only this kingdom could produce ones such as you. I mean, that suggests that the High Me, who is not of this kingdom, is not the higher being. That is instead us, the knight that is, well, Bug Friend, who is a higher being. Because I don't think I am from the great kingdom of Hallownest. I'm reasonably certain that I, the, visiting, extremely, normal, unproblematic, historian archaeologist just rolling up randomly after all the work has been done, is not from Hallownest. Oops. Now, while I did break it, I do want to shout out these little statues. These little statues are super interesting, because they imply, construction of dialogue. Spoilers or whatever, yeah. This game is 6 years old. If there are people who are just, totally unfamiliar with Hollow Knight, do say something so we can respect that and encourage that. But I have 100% of this game multiple times, so I've not 112% of it. I have 100% of it. So it is fun. Beyond this point, you enter the land of King and Creator. Step across this threshold and obey our laws. Bear witness to the last and only civilization, the Eternal Kingdom. Hallownest. Big, giant gate. So, I mean, we're already seeing a very specific thing in monumental structures. I mean, look at that, right? This is epigraphy par excellence. You just you look at this and you're like, wow, there's so much epigraphy going on. Now, what's interesting is that this is epigraphy that is not designed for most people. Most of the bugs in the world are presumably not higher beings. Right? Yeah, spoilers are allowed. So this is an epigraphic inscription, right? Something carved into, well, shell in this case, rather than stone. But designed as a monument, designed to be noticed, stand out, look at this. And yet, it is something that is not designed for most people to be able to interpret. That's super interesting, though I can't exactly say in a good way. Right? I mean, good lord. Imagine, that's a level of snobbery historical empire would be thrilled to get away with. Not only can you not, or are you able to make something that is physically extremely imposing and basically completely inaccessible, you're then able to make it even more inaccessible to only the select few for whom the thing is important. Everyone else is just awestruck by it, right? But there's only select few for who it has meaning. God, they care so much. Anyway, we come out here. Last and only kingdom is interesting. This is a rhetorical device. Or did the creators truly believe Hallownest is the only kingdom? What an interesting question, right? The semantics of the epigraphy are... you're correct. Absolutely a claim. I think we can safely say that they do not actually think that it is the only kingdom. And the reason why I say that, is that if there is nothing past there, you are not a visitor. right? If this is the only place... Yeah, there are, like, wilds beyond. Like, there's wild spaces beyond it. But if this is the only place that is able to produce higher beings to whom inscriptions have meaning, you don't need to put an inscription telling us, well, like, bear witness to the last and only civilization. You already know that. Which very, very strongly implies that that is a rhetorical device, of just, look at how cool it is. Also, as we'll explore as we get deep, deep into the story, they know for a damn well that they are not the, only, and they probably don't think they're going to be the last. But that's fine. Anyway, let's come up here. Look at how nice the street lamps are. Just like, what an excellent vibe. Little snaily curls. Very much like a wrought iron. Like... very wrought iron. Very, like, 19th or 20th century, a little bit like Art Nouveau, but bugs. And little fireflies lighting it up. Fantastic. Yeah, think it was aspirational. I super agree. Oh, you can't even see it. Elderbug waves at you if you just walk away without saying hi. Elderbug, hello. No, you came back. You walked straight past me. I thought maybe I'd faded away, along with this town. The other residents, they've all disappeared. Headed down that well, one by one, into the caverns below. Used to be there was a great kingdom beneath our town. It's long fell to ruin, yet it still draws folks into its depths. Wealth, glory, enlightenment, well, that darkness seems to promise all things. I'm sure you too seek your dreams down there. Well, watch out. It's a sickly air that fills the place. Creatures turn mad, and travelers are robbed of their memories. Perhaps dreams aren't such great things. After all, I love Elderbug! What a cute little guy. Yeah, no, Last Stag is definitely oral history. Elderbug's weird. Like, he definitely has some historical information, but I don't think he's, I don't think Hollow Nest is in his lived memory. Right? Like, Hollow Nest is not really in... There's not a lot that suggests that Hollow Nest is as it was, is in his lived memory, that this has been handed down to him. That, oh yeah, Hollow Nest used to be great, drew a bunch of people, and then it's long gone. Elderbug is nice, you should give him a flower? True! As soon as we have a flower, we'll say this. Many used to come, hoping the kingdom would fill their desires. Hollow Nest, it was once called. Supposedly the greatest kingdom there ever was, full of treasures and secrets. Now it's nothing more than a poisonous tomb full of monsters and madness. Everything fades eventually, I suppose. Feeling tired? That bench may be iron, but I assure you it's quite comfortable. There's no better place to collect your thoughts before heading below. Plus, I enjoy the company. Not that you seem the talkative sort. Living in the decline of the kingdom. Exactly. Also though, like, this is a nice town. The town does seem to be at least contemporary to Hollow Nest as like an entry point, but it's not really of the kingdom. And being not of the kingdom, it's immune to some of the problems that faces the kingdom. Namely, everything about the kingdom. Yep. Ah, while we're here, we may as well equip Fury. Oh yeah, by the way, charms exist. Embodies the fury and heroism that comes upon those who are about to die. When close to death, the bearer's strength will increase. I mean, it's beautiful. Also, I just need to shout out the music here. The fact that it's just basically like piano and cello. Actually, that's violin. But Still, piano and a handful of strings is an excellent choice. I said violin. I think that's more probably viola. I don't know. I play woodwinds. I play woodwind instruments. But, exactly, in terms of giving a sense of, like, this solemnity and decay to it, like, that's an excellent way of... excellent tool to accomplish that. By the way, these are graves. So we already know that there is a burial culture, or was a burial culture, because all of these little stones are graves. I'm a bad person. Gives viola vibes to you, but you're also a woodwind player. Exactly. Boing. The opening area from Journey says hi. Correct. I think Journey's influence on this space is not insignificant, and we love that. Right? We love that. All you can imagine now is Bud Friend desecrating the graves with their trowel. Look, we have a trowel. Yes, we use the trowel to commit extreme violence, but it's a trowel. See? Ignore that. Old trowel. You know, let's go this way. This is incredibly inefficient, but let's go this way. Oh, I'm not going to enjoy what I have to do. Chat. You know what I'm going to have to do eventually? Well, that's suspiciously fixed. It'll be sad. Also, go say hi to Mila. Exactly. Do violins and violas have different resonance, or is it just one has a C string and one has an E string? I think they have slightly different resonances, right? Violas are like a half octave lower, basically. So, typically if I hear that like low alto-y sound, it's like, that's weird. Well, hello. Hello there! How delightful to be another traveler on these forgotten roads. You're a short one, but you've a strong look about you. I'm Quirrel. I have something of an obsession with uncharted places. Me too, buddy. Me too. This ancient kingdom holds many fascinating mysteries, and one of the most intriguing of them is standing right before us. A great stone egg, lying in the corpse of an ancient kingdom. And this egg, is it warm? It certainly gives off a unique air. Can it be opened? There's strange marks all over it. I do so love a mystery, and who knows what other marvels lie even deeper below us. For so long, I've been felt drawn here. So many tales full of wonders and horrors. No longer could I resist, I just had to see it for myself. Hello, Strawberry Shay. What an interesting mask you're wearing, Quirrel. True. But we have information, right? Within the realms outside of Hallownest, there's still clearly an oral storytelling culture. Or potentially a literary storytelling culture. That says, hey, tales full of wonders and horrors. And so, right, we should think, well, either of folkloric stories, like in the Book of 1001 Nights, of various cities, the City of Brass, various other lost cities, or we should be thinking for that kind of represents the pseudo-oral tradition, or we should be thinking about 19th and 20th century pulp, with all of its colonialist baggage, but, Right, 19th and 20th century sort of colonialist exploratory fiction as creating these eldritch tales of, well, pulp adventure and pulp horror. Quirrel getting us at the airpan about Fabergé eggs, true. Good. Lonely Spaceport, glad it has been a positive eventful week. That's far better than the alternative. No longer could I resist, I just had to see it for myself. And what time I chose to arrive. This dead world has sprung to life. The creatures are riled up and the earth rumbles. The air is thick. Wonder what could have brought it all about. It me. I brought it all about. To persevere in this ruin, that old nail alone just won't be enough. Oh, that's no problem. One only has to look around. Plenty have come before us, and most have met their grisly end. Many more equipped than you and I. I'm sure they wouldn't mind or a fellow explorer to relieve them of their tools. It's a kindness, really. The dead shouldn't be burdened with such things. Did you pass that town above? What a gloomy little place, and such majesty hidden right beneath. I suppose that's why they've all headed down here. Who could resist such possibilities? Truly a marvel. Quirrel, I love you. Goodbye, friend. You read Macbeth in a Muppet voice with a Kermit puppet. Incredible. Fantastic. I wonder if the dead shouldn't be burdened with such things represents a, like, broader spiritual, ideological tradition, or if it's just Quirrel's opinion. I think it's mostly just Quirrel's opinion. Me. I really should get some more tools before I get too excited, huh? I really should just get more tools. Chat, do we hate grubs? We don't hate grubs? We don't hate grubs. Wow, chat is universal on not hating grubs. Grubs are great. Are mimics great? There is some very tasty lore once you get all the grubs. This is true. Oh, bury my mother pale and slight, bury my father with his eyes shut tight, bury my sisters 2 by 2, and then when you're done, let's bury me too. Lizard, that is a level of spoilers that we're not going to be okay with. Because that will become clear later. Do you know that one? It's one of my favorites. We can sing something else if you like. You start singing and I'll join in. But you have a beautiful singing voice. Right, Quirrel is a recurring character. We love Quirrel. There's so much about Quirrel that we will learn. But there's going to be no drama if we spoil everything. So what are you down here for? If you came to get wealthy, then just look around you. These mines still bursting with riches. There's plenty for everyone. Just grab a pick and join in. Oh, bury the knight with her broken nail. Bury the priest? Something about a crown? I can't remember the rest of that one. Maybe I'll just hum it. Mila! Mila. Well, Quirrel was talking about how there are lots of tales about Hallownest. Mila half remembers some of these tales, apparently. Emphasis on the half. Because I wonder who has a crown that can be, broken. Oh, to be a bug mining... True. Destroy the night with her nail? So it's just Quirrel? Yeah. Yeah, but there's definitely something in there that... that is absolutely, ow. Bruh. An incredibly morbid work song, in an innocuous setting, speaks volumes about how entrenched and normalized cultural memory of mass death is. That's true. Right, I mean, that's... If you weren't sure that there was some really messed up stuff happening in Hollow Nest, Mila's work song should prove that, because, oh boy, that was dark. Some real nasty stuff happened. But that stuff is at least sort of remembered, and right, remembered in ways other than, well, remembered in ways other than our currently identified sources, right? Because we have the epigraphy, the higher beings, which are claims made by the elites of Hallownest about Hallownest. We have the opening text, which is a fragment of a tale by Monomon the Dreamer, who we're going to be seeing a lot of. And we have Elderbug's vague, handed-down memories of having lived there, and we have the architecture itself as our sources for the messed up stuff that's happening. So the work songs are like an entirely different paradigm of information. You know what the kinship structure of the grubs look like? Well, you have the grub father. You have the grub father, and you have not that. Oh, they're so cute. Do work songs ever not have dark, spooky origins? I feel like some of them have got to. But work song culture is not my specialty, so you'd have to, if you're in the Discord, go bug Meg probably knows something about work songs. Meg was a guest way back in the AC Valhalla Wrath of the Druid streams. So, may have some information there. Oh, well, hello there. Come down to explore these beautiful old ruins. Don't mind me. I have a fondness for exploring myself. Getting lost and finding your way again is a pleasure like no other. We're exquisitely lucky, you and I. I'm a cartographer by trade. I'm working on mapping this area right now. Would you like to buy a copy of my work so far? Yes. Acquired a map. Map can be a useful thing, but it alone won't show you where you are. If you're not the head for directions, I suggest purchasing a compass for my wife, Iselda. She's just now opening our new map shop in Dirtmouth, selling all sorts of useful things to wanderers like yourself. She'll even sell some of my old maps from time to time. I pop back to see her whenever I finish mapping an area. She's always so excited to see me. Oh, by the way, I haven't introduced myself, have I? Yes, I should apologize for that. When you spend a lot of time by yourself with just your own thoughts, you forget the niceties of conversation. My name is Cornifer, and I've always loved exploring the world. Why, when I was first hatched, I wandered off immediately, leaving my brothers and sisters and poor mother behind. That's why as soon as I could, I moved to Dirtmouth with my wife. A huge, unending kingdom to explore right on our doorstep. Who could resist? Anyway, I'll let you return to your travels. With a little luck, we'll meet again. Be safe, and farewell. How are you finding my map? I've tried to fill it out as much as I can, but every map is a work in progress. If you'd like to fill out on the map yourself, you can purchase some mapping supplies from my wife up in Dartmouth. We set up a little store to help make ends meet. I'll admit I am a little bit curious as to how making ends meet works in a society that has no notable food sources besides devouring each other. And no rent to speak of because everyone's dead. What are you spending money on? Don't answer that, it's more mapping supplies. You're just making ends meet of having a feedback loop of buying paper, isn't it? Right, at least Sly is just good. Seriously? God, I'm so bad. Sly is just good old-fashioned greedy. Cartographer has the money management skills of a potato. Quirrel is almost as financially responsible as you? Oof. Unlucky. Don't some insects kind of farm fungi? Yes. As... Ah, dang it. I missed the fast strat. No. Ow. I'd guess the bugs eat those, or possibly bugs who are very good at gathering edible plants might sell them to other bugs. If there were any bugs who are good at gathering edible plants, I would buy that. Sadly, there are not. We meet, one thing that I think is safe to assume about this world is that the people who are alive and okay, are all the people who are alive and okay. That there is not a wealth of, other options at hand. And not a single one of the folks in this entire world are actually, you know, attempting to do good forge stuff. They just kind of exist. So it's not really a criticism, it's more of just a statement. Right? I mean, this is an atmosphere piece. I think it would be frankly silly to imagine having the bug that does farming. There are bugs who are eating. There are bugs who are eating, but there are not bugs who are, like, farming. So, you know, practicalities are pretty much just for whatever is useful for the mood. I think that's probably as it should be. TPH. Well, thank you to the anonymous gifter for giving Liz a tier 1 gifty sub. As a reminder, folks, all subs, gift subs, Prime Gaming subs, and bits just go right back into the channel to help me be able to get more games, make better content for you all, do more ambitious projects. So if you want to help support the channel, that is a great way to do it. Anyway, chat, here's the first wall for most people. Right, for a lot of new players, this is going to be the first major... this is the first major... like, challenge of the game. Allow me to show you how to beat a False Knight. Literally unlosable. Alright, that's it. False Knight's dead. I know, right? Weird seeing Hollow Knight without, like, a movement abilities. That's the goal for today, is partially get up to getting Mantis Claw, so that we are able to do stuff. Bye. What weird shapes on poles are you talking about? Are you talking about, like, the stuff up here? Like these shapes? This is the, seal of Hollow Nest. This is looks like variant form with the White King's crown on top of it. So, this is also royal iconography of Hollow Nest. Whee! Well. No. No generic shamanism over here. Stop it. What do you mean, traditional witch doctor iconography? By the way, also, did you notice? Is the texture of the building shells? Yes, it is. Did you notice that the walls are made out of faces? The walls are made out of faces. So many... Okay, officially they're made out of masks, but same difference. That's a creepy detail. Just a smidge. Oh ho, who is that creeping out of the darkness? My, you're looking grim. A strange, empty face, and a wicked-looking weapon. The Snail Shaman. Shamanism. Right, it's so ingrained in pop culture of this weird intersection of any sort of, like, animistic folk belief slash witch doctor slash voodoo all get subsumed under the name shamanism. It's not optimal. It would not be my preferred thing, but here we are. But right, even though this says shaman, implying a magic user who, right, if we're going off of the Mongolian folk traditions that give rise to it, something, you know, being way too involved with the history, this suggests a religious figure who has the power to cross the borders between the human and the spirit world, and does so to accomplish magical acts for the good of community, often using trance-like assistances, such as music, hallucinogens, dances, something, right? A lot of the iconography we see here, to me, looks much more like the pop cultural, specifically through Diablo, voodoo witch doctor. So, drawing, like, a very malinterpreted idea of Haitian folk religions and kind of splatting that onto shamanistic belief. Exactly, like the Noaidi and the Mudang have very little in common with each other, but they're still both shamans. Right, really, what shaman means these days is, unfortunately, I think, a religious figure in a belief system that assumes a multiplicity of nature spirits. And that's such a broad term as to be basically descriptive of everything. Like, there's a non-zero argument that a Christian priest in the Middle Ages or early modernity on the Isle of Man could be classified as a shaman. Something important has drawn you into Hellenist's corpse, but I won't ask what. Perhaps the reason you found me is because you need my help? Say no more, friend. I'm going to give you a gift. A nasty little spell of my own creation. It's just perfect for a little one like you. Don't tell that to Wrath. I'm just gonna knock myself out so I don't have to imagine that, okay, Magistressa? Consume the vengeful spirit. Tap B to unleash the spirit. Spells will deplete soul. Replenish soul by striking enemies. Exorcists are shamans. Exactly, right? If you think demons have magical or like sort of nature attributes, or if you think that you can subsume those two together, which I think you probably can fairly safely do, then in point of fact, yes, exorcists would count as... Oh, heck. I forgot I didn't have dash yet. Come on. Behave. Behave! Seriously? Thank you. Think about Esoterica's necromantic clerical underground. Yeah. But right. There's a trend in like demonology that you could read demons who are incorporeal spirits that occupy the terrestrial plane with malevolent intent, and often subsume. Right. Often non-Christian figures get subsumed into demons. Well, there is a great invisible war happening on this level, incorporeal but still physical, and therefore, someone who interacts with them, a necromancer, a magician, or an exorcist, they're missing the traversal part, but they are interacting with spirits who exist in the natural world in order to accomplish ends for the good of the community, and therefore, the old priest and the young priest are both shamans. I'm sure you're eager to move on. Farewell, and have faith. Whatever you are seeking, it will find you. Why do you hesitate? You'll get nothing more from me, I'm afraid. Though I do admire your persistence. Okay, bye. I'm not going to be using Fury. I'm too much of a coward to use Fury, so let's use Soul Catcher for now. Well, good job, team. We have solved... Well, we're an hour into the stream, and we finally have the first and most impactful thing. Hot tip, if you haven't played this game yet, and you're like, having a hard time with anything, the answer to your question is more spells. Just so you know. If at any point you're having a hard time with something, just... Ah, damn it. I thought that you had woken up already. Come on. Get out. Come on. Ow. One more. One more. I believe. The answer to your problem is absolutely always more spells. Just hit them with more spells. You remember watching speedruns for the first time and having your eyes open? Exactly. Exactly how I had my eyes open to the power of just hit them with magic. Seriously? God, I'm so bad. Straight into the acid. You survived. Frankly impressive. Ow. We're gonna attempt to be cool. Just by the way, speaking of how long till Path of Pain, how... I did say nearly 100%, so we are going to beat Path of Pain. I'm not going to say more than that. No word on how long that'll take, because that may be a more than one stream sort of thing. Goodbye. God, it's so pretty. So pretty. I'm going to the Pantheons? Pantheons are a definite maybe. So we're gonna try something. We're gonna see how cool I am. Nope. Biffed that. Biffed that. Backups. Come on. Really? I dashed up instead of down. Well, here we go in improvising. I got this in like 2 tries the other day, or while warming up today. Literally, it took me 2 tries. That's still worth. Just for the record, that is still absolutely worth. We'll explore the rest of Green Path later. I want Dash first. Because, doing the rest of Green Path without Dash? Nah. If I was good, I would have just gotten a Fireball skip and moved on, but no. No, I am not good. I'm actually quite bad. That being said, like, right now, there's not been a whole lot to talk about with Green Path. Right, there will be things, but we don't really have the tools to be able to locate the objects of significance in Green Path. So really, right, your first time through, in terms of play experience, and how that helps construct meaning, Green Path seems to mostly exist... Green Path seems to exist mostly to be a contrast to Crossroads. Right? Significantly more dangerous, but significantly more alive. To really emphasize the fact that the kingdom is just dead. Right? The kingdom of Palinest is completely kaput. And there is nothing you can really do about it, because it's just like that. Like the little guys here. Crawlids? Tic-Tacs? One of the two. The little Crawlids are like the beginning, middle, and end of meaning. One of the most important items for getting lore is Spore Shroom. Exactly. Cool. You're gonna move close enough for me to actually do anything? God, Vengefly King is such a jerk if you don't hit those first fireballs. I missed 2 of them. Stop standing in up there. Buddy, why are you yelling at me from the ceiling? Exactly. All hail. Just what do you think you're doing? You dare to come between me and my prey? Is it a habit of yours to scurry about getting in the way and causing bother? Know this, cur. I am Zot the Mighty, a knight of great renown. Cross me again and you'll find out why they call my weapon Life Ender. What are you still bothering me for? I'm a knight. I'm not interested in your childish games. I need my rest. Begone, lest I draw my nail. Zot the Mighty! Oh, Zot. Meh. Zot is a very trustworthy source of lore. It is good that you saved him. True. Alright, let's go. Where we're going, we don't need benches. Hello. Come down closer, ghost. I've seen you creeping through the undergrowth, stalking me. This old kingdom. A terrible thing awakens. I can smell it in the air. I know what you are. I know what you'd try to do. I can't allow it. Ow. Hornet, where's Silksong? Hey, no. All I want to do was ask you where Silksong was. Oh. Mothwing Cloak. So, Hornet is incredibly cool. It also seems like Hornet knows an awful lot. She knows we're trying to get the Silksong release date, and that's what she can't let us do. True. Would it seek to break the seals? They cannot be undone. They must be undone. Let us sleep, little shadow. Return to your darkness. Allow us our peace. Ow. The heck? I just wanted to know when Silksong released. God. Hornet ran away from us, and then we got nuked by some other mysterious figures telling us that we aren't allowed to break the seals on the Silksong files. It's just, like, rude. You know? The Lake of Un. It's a slug. Everyone say hi to the giant slug statue. Another sort of epigraphic thing. Oh, hello there. Seems like both tread far from the path. I can hardly believe those dusty old highways led to such a lush and lively place. This building suggests some sort of worship, though its idol has clearly been long forgotten. Doubles equally well for a moment's respite. I saw a strange fellow out there. He seemed quite taken by the lake. I planned to offer greetings, so I figured I'd first tend to my nail, on chance our meeting goes poorly. Your nail looks a fine instrument, but it's showing signs of wear. I'd wager up there it would take you far. Down here, however, I expect you'll soon meet dangers the surface world can't match. Holiness is perfect for vigilant explorers like us, so tense and thrilling. This place rather alert, or you're dead. Fair enough. God. Quirrel continues to be based, correctly identifies, the building suggests some sort of worship. The fact that it's a giant structure with a broken altar and a statue inside. Takes a look at all that and says, yep, clearly a place of worship. Quirrel's a better archaeologist than we are, TBH. Don't kill the guy watching the lake yet? True. And we can't do fast strats, so instead, perhaps, we'll just drop down here and do slow strats. Hello? Tool machine with a symbol of a stag. Insert geo. Let's meet Best Bud. Best friend. Best friend. Best friend? Greetings, little one. It's been an age since I last heard the ringing of a station bell. It echoed down the Stagways and called me to you. I've grown stiff and tired over these many years, and I've forgotten much, but the sound of the bell will always call me back. These Stagways stretch the depths of Halidest. If you want to travel them, hail me from the platform. I will take you where you need to go. My, this place is much changed since I last saw it. The greenery grows so wild the stations like to be consumed by it. Dermath! My beloved. Exactly. This place. We are near the surface, I believe. There is a town here. You should take the opportunity to rest. This place was once full of travelers, coming and going. It seems much quieter now. Oh. Asking the last stag about how this is like asking a taxi driver how to get around the city. Very trustworthy. True, and he's trustworthy on two fronts. Firstly, he's trustworthy because he is how we get around, and is the best traveled character in the entire game. But he's also trustworthy, cause he's a actual, like, witness to Hallownest. I never thought I'd see such a thing. The Stag station has opened. That building lay silent since before even my time. Oh, I heard the tale of the glorious lines. A web of tunnels running all through the kingdom. Not that I'll be traveling them, mind you. I'm quite content where I am. Did you visit that temple? A strange building, I've heard, though I'd never dare the journey myself. The braver among us once went there to pray, said they felt at peace within the walls. After a while, they stopped going. I wonder what changed. A young couple's just recently taken up residence in the house beside the station. Seems they're running a map shop, which may excite adventurous types like yourself. She's a tall bug, the wife. I told them to take a larger house, especially given that they're all empty, but they like the look of that one. The way she has to bend just to get through the door, I wouldn't put up with it myself. My understanding of Hallownest can be a little vague, but below those leafy caverns is a fungal grove, once home to peaceful creatures, not quite bug, and not quite plant. Sounds almost worth a visit, no? Well, there's a downside. The dreadful stench. A noxious odor fills the place. Let's leave him company for a bit, cause I think it's time we take our first ad break. We take ad breaks roughly every hour, just so I can get a stretch. I recommend you all do the same. So we'll be back in 3 minutes with more Hollow Knight, and going in search of the Mantis Claw, because that's important. Alright, so don't go anywhere. I'll leave you with Hallownest's nice tunes and some snails. Alright, I will see you all in a little bit. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to Little History. As always, I am Adam, and we are playing Hollow Knight today, if you're just tuning in. We are starting off what I am calling a historical tour, which means we are wandering around, doing a rough, close to 100% playthrough. Don't know if we'll get to 112%, but we're going to see how far we can get over the next while, the next bunch of streams. And hanging out, talking history, talking how this game constructs history, and basically using it as a, chance to hang out, have a bit more casual stream, and explore a fun little case study of a very, very good fictional history. So, if you've been enjoying this and are just tuning in, do make sure you hit that follow button, because we do try to stream a variety of all historical or historical adjacent games. And if you are really enjoying this, consider subscribing, gifting subs, sharing bits, or just hanging out, chatting, and telling a friend, because all of that helps keep this channel going, keep the channel growing, and helps me do more stuff like this. So, let's get back into it. We have a cloak. Zoom. Zoom. You there, why are you skulking about in the shadows? Yes, your eyes do not deceive you. I am Zot the Mighty, a knight of great renown. Tremble before me. While you were hiding here in your dingy little village, I ventured into the dark pit below us and slew a great beast. It had sharp mandibles and atrocious manners. Yes, all glory to me, but I don't have the time for your adulation. I must rest and prepare for my next journey down. So, do you remember me so little? That daft old fellow over there, he's talking absolute drivel. Seems to think the very air is deadly down in the caverns. Perhaps he should consider not breathing. He's talking about dreams, too. Dreams are for those too feeble to truly live. I love, by the way, canonically, this means Zot is immune to the plot of the game by virtue of being too dumb to realize that there's supposed to be plot happening. It is very much as the Warhammer Orcs approach to existence. Dreams are going to be a big theme throughout the game, and it is so funny to me that he's just like, no, I do not believe the plot of the game can happen, and so it doesn't. What a squalid little hamlet this is. The air is foul and the townsfolk have beady eyes. There's 2 townsfolk. I'll be heading back down as soon as possible. And how can you say a Zelda has beady eyes? Hello. Can't be mind controlled if you don't have a mind to be controlled. Modern problems require modern solutions. Come to buy a map, have you? It's really my husband you should be dealing with, but what a surprise! He sent it down below. He'll pop back occasionally to deliver new maps for the store, but I do wish he'd spend a little more time up here. I'm not much interested in retail myself. Now, let's see what's here for me to sell. Stuff. Blues, thank you for 31 months of tier 1. Green path. Wayward compass. And a quill. Perfect. Of all the places to end up, we picked this dreary town. I had thought it a temporary stop, then my husband became obsessed with that old ruin. And he's spending all his time down there. He argues cartography is sound business. But other than you, who's buying? Are you enjoying yourself down in the ruins? At times my husband makes Hornet sound a wonder, but sometimes it seems a ghastly, dangerous place. True. It is both ghastly and dangerous, and I am enjoying myself immensely. Bapanada. Goodbye. Ah yes, Tiso. Hail thing, you wear that nail with ease. If you're in search of combat, you'll find no great warriors in this decaying burrow. I've heard an arena exists somewhere below, one built for our like. Meet me there and we'll test what skills you possess. I'll be heading down soon. Come and find me if you dare. Hallow Nest. What challengers await in this ruin? Quirrel. Quirrel awaits in this ruin. We must find him. Oh, actually. Now that we are here, oh, still can't. I need Mantis Claw yet. Let's do Mantis Claw first. There will be plenty of time to go through every area in more detail once we have Mantis Claw and Dream Nail. And Sea Dash. Honestly, I think we want all of those before we get too excited. Ow. If we go down here, then we should be able to go up here. If we go up here, we can enter Fungal Wastes. Let me peek a little glimpse this way first. I need D-dive for that. Okay. Fungal Waste. So, Fungal Waste is another one that doesn't necessarily have a lot of, you know, hugely significant plot. Can someone give me the TLDR of this game? Oh, Zoe. We are a Bug Knight. We are exploring Hallow Nest. Hallow Nest is an ancient ruined kingdom with, all sorts of great and terrible things that happened in it. And also everyone is bugs. You're now kind of on the game. It's a Metroidvania with heavy Souls-like influence for the sort of very, very gothic storytelling tone. I mean gothic primarily in the 19th century sense, rather than in the 13th century sense. Anywho. There is not necessarily a whole lot to do in Fungal Waste in terms of our historical tour. What is the thoughts thus far? We wandered around a bunch. We wandered around a bunch more. We fought Hornet. We met a strange being called Hornet who seems to know more about us than we do. And then 3 spooky figures appeared out of nothingness and tried to nuke us, and we survived. That's the entire plot so far. Anyway, since there isn't necessarily a ton of big fancy history to talk about yet, because we don't have the right things to activate it. Spore. We don't have the spore charm. What we are instead going to do right now, I literally DPS checked False Knight. Ow. Angry Mushroom. Yes, but what we are going to do in this room is take a moment to look at, well, how do I approach a room, right? In a historical setting, we walk into a space, I know effectively nothing about what to expect. What do I actually do when doing this work? First things first. Take a look at the dominant aesthetics you see going on. So, obviously, mushrooms, green space, overgrown. So, given the fact that it's all overgrown, right, we can say potentially either something that's been abandoned or something that was designed this way. We just from the dominant aesthetic, we don't actually know which one it is. Thing number next, we look at sort of more background aesthetics. Specifically, the ones that stand out to me are these pots. And these up in the foreground, these shadowy hanging pots. That suggests to me that it is not in a... that it is originally, right, whatever the oldest original purpose was, that this one is designed to have growing things. Either a garden or a greenhouse or, right, like a botanical garden or a greenhouse or something that has since gotten potentially a little bit overgrown, right? Maybe a little bit, as we have those little things that move in the foreground. And then we can clean up. We're being so nice to it. After that, we need to start looking more detailed, right? We're still just working within aesthetics. We're looking for either identifiable plants. The fact that all this is tropical, right? These giant flowers suggest, and clinging vines suggest more tropical flowers. And right here, right? You see this? Well, we'll see if we have a comparison point to it. We do not currently have a good comparison point to it. What we will eventually get here is a Halonest seal. That's going to look an awful lot like what we see right here. And so that suggests to me that this is, you know, related to the Kingdom of Halonest, and specifically probably even more closely related to the Royal House of Halonest. So, this is a project. With extra knowledge, we can start to build out an interpretation of that this was a project to attempt to grow exotic things for the Queen's Garden by King, but that requires a lot of information that we don't have yet. Right, it's enough to say right now, this is associated with the elite of Halonest, thanks to the Halonest seal, for the purposes of growing tropical plants. Since the fall of Halonest, it has since become overgrown. You can see, right, we have a relative dating of the plants are grown up on top of the metalwork, so the plants are younger. It has since overgrown and been taken over by very angry mushrooms that we just murdered. Ow. They seem more panicked than angry? That's true. Calling them angry mushrooms is not really a fair... Ow. was not, strictly speaking, fair to them, because they were less angry and more just stressed. Oh, my sure friend, you've got me at the perfect time. I'm just about finished charting these nauseous caverns. Very territorial types make their homes within this area. I'd suggest avoiding them where possible. Further below, some strange, thin creatures gave me quite a scare. They seemed an intelligent bunch. In my youth, I'd have braved their caves, but I fear my matured physique wouldn't be able to outrun them were they to turn violent. There's a potent odor about these caverns, and far worse for me, I suspect. My trunk is quite sensitive, whereas you don't seem to possess a scent organ of any kind. Hey, fourth wall, where are you at? Fourth wall? Is it that you cannot smell at all? We don't have smell-o-vision, and therefore we, the player, can in fact not smell how potent the odor is in these caverns. Boop, boop. And now the Queen's Station. Quirrel. Isn't this something? I'd not expected to discover so huge a stag station after that foggy descent. The bugs of Hallownest must have been an impressive lot, building such grand structures so far into these wilds. Seems the dangerous creatures about haven't yet made their way in here, so the perfect place for a quick rest. Can you imagine this place in its time? Hordes of bugs traveling about the kingdom, stag bells ringing, the station bustling with activity and life. Now only our like even know it exists. That's the special thing, I suppose, to cherish these sites, even in their decay. God, he so romanticizes the wandering about. Is it that, just faintly, you can still hear the echo of the bells? Also, when I speak about other sources, the very deceased bug are important sources for knowing that something very bad happened here. Apart from, you know, that being a little bit crumpled, that being a big issue. Actually, all of this is a little bit crumpled. A little bit uneven, a little bit disorganized, a little bit crumpled. Kinda overgrown. But this place has a ton of, well, unclear if it's writing or if it's merely writing adjacent, but clearly things are supposed to have meaning hanging from the walls. And so clearly this place was like hugely important, and also the quantity of writing here implies a relatively, like, literate, writing-accustomed population. Which is pretty neat. Let's see what our friend has to say about it. Friend. And by the way, I assume that those are writing or writing adjacent because of what's directly above us. Right? The travel sign that I just broke has similar signage. And we also saw similar signage in the Fungal Ways pointing towards the City of Tears, though those were more pictographic. No, this gladdens me. The Queen Station is open once more. This place was a bustling hub of travel. Well placed for travelers visiting the outer edges of the land. You're quite the explorer to find this place. Oh. And then we sit and we scribble, and off we go. Look how good our map is. Munching noises. Hello. Hello, munching noises. Oh, Oh, come in search of treats, have you? I just found a unique little fungus growing right above us. I found it only in this station, and the taste is just divine. This place must have been quite the hub built at the border between two lands. That misty drop to one side and those bulbous growths another. Neither place seems particularly welcoming, so while my little treats last, I think I'll stay right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Feel free to stop by any time, though I do like the quiet in this station. A little company is always good for one's health. Bye, Willow. Wonder what kind of fungus she's eating. Is it ethically sourced? Is there such a thing as ethically sourced in this world? I feel like ethically sourced is kind of the opposite of what is possible and allowable in this everything. Sadly, I cannot get over, so we're gonna have to go up this way, pretend that we're good, and do this. There is no ethical consumption in Hellenist? Exactly. I don't have sports room there. I should have marked some of the important marks. That was a bit dumb of me. Oh well. Let's go back this way. Because I don't think there's anything of value to do in that area. No. A lot of cash drops from them. You will watch the heck of it, and I play Hollow Knight with the most ethically sourced food possible. I feel like you wouldn't get very far. You know, because our bug does not eat. But the bug who doesn't eat... I don't know how that, you know, works. It is possible, you're right, it is possible to pacifist run, but there's just a few you have to kill. You can skip... You have to get yourself killed a bunch for the pacifist run, though. We remember the Elder. Neat. Well, more evidence that these squiggles are supposed to be writing. Is that there's squiggles, and that's the only thing you can remotely interpret as writing for the box that pops up. I nearly dashed straight into the explodey thing. Who do you have to kill? You have to kill Watcher Knight. You should be able to damage boost through the Beast Den Devouts. You have to kill Umo. You'll have to clear Hornet 1. That doesn't kill, so maybe that's okay. There's a couple of arenas you have to kill, like, bully your way through. Yeah. What's the significance of the warrior dreams having their graves at their death sites rather than some communal space? An excellent question, one I do not know the answer to. I can make up some stuff, but I think we'll wait until after we get them to... Wait until after we get the warrior dream, or the dream nail, and so can interact with them, to think about that. Ah, the steps of a tiny creature. You got the look of an adventurer, so we've much in common. Searching for different dangerous places, eh? Well, you're on the right track. A long-necked critter warned me of a tribe deep down. Warrior sort, so she says, are now mentioning for some serious combat. Keep sharp, my adventurous friend. Stay alive, and let's meet again on the road ahead. I mean, yes, battlefield burial of some kind. But potentially also just, heroism and heroics being broadly bad news, and so a certain, risk inherent, to having warriors buried in the communal spaces where they can still sort of muck with things. So there's a few different ways to read that. Spring. Ow. Spring. Hornet! I just want to know when Silksong is. You're taking a class, an anthro class on death this fall. Incredible. You'll have to let us know how it is when that rolls around. 'Cause, you know, that's good. Spring. Ow. Ow. Ignore how long that took me to do. Imagine if I died to a bunch of balloons. I'm not gonna die to a bunch of balloons. Honestly, I'm bad at the game. I'm not that bad at the game. Now, if I was cool and good, I'd pogo off of that. I am neither cool nor good, so we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to look at this squad being very scary. Like, these are not small things. Actually, what's exciting is that these are Weaver Devout claws. I just want some soul, okay? Okay. Just looking for some soul, thank you. Maybe they just didn't want to spend all the time and effort to bring their war dead home? For some reason, I find that implausible. Though they certainly have a pretty screwed up relationship to, you know, death in general. And certainly to what counts as acceptable sacrifices of human life. Let's see if I can do the cool thing. Can I be cool? Ow. Probably not. That is a no. That's absolutely a no. Tragic. Alright. Oh, I mean, yes, Pale King, but I was even thinking of just Soul Sanctum, which is a place that we are much more likely to see, given that it's kind of next on the list of places to go to, and then be sad about going to. Anyway, we have a wall jump now. It's pretty cool. I enjoy it greatly. The truce remains. Our vigil holds. The beasts are kept at bay. Even with Mantis Claw, I'll still fall into spikes and acid. Of course I will. I'll even do it right now, probably. Lore? Any lore? Any... no? Well, still. We found another, like... hard to tell whether we should think of that as epigraphic or as something else, but another sort of, textual document, or text of some flavor, that says, hello, there was a truce, so apparently two political entities, of which these Mantids are one of them, and some sort of beast. Or, right. There was a truce that the Mantis would watch over something, or keep some sort of beast at bay, and they are still doing that. This is where text documents are so important, right? Because realistically, how are you ever going to know that without a text document telling you that there is a truce? Right? Without some sort of record of that, little column A, or a lot of column A and just a smidge of column B. So, right, that's where our material record, right, treating games as pure, like, architecture spaces, just, like, doesn't work. Because in so much of a constructed history, right, you're looking for what in colloquial terms is called the lore. And you can build arguments out of other stuff, but really, a lot of our interpretation ends up being based, first and foremost, on whatever we can identify epigraphic, or in written materials in the game, in spoken dialogue, in item descriptions, in other such stuff. Here ends the pilgrim's way. Hollowness heart lays open before you, proceed onward to share in its glory. Oh hey, what, travel to the center as pilgrimage? Center periphery theory, don't mind if I do. Ow. I only fell into one set of spikes. Center periphery theory is a framework of sociological thought that tends to treat societies as consisting of a central space, which is good, where good things are, safety, home, family structures, etc., and a periphery in which the central in-group has to travel to, and when they travel, having traveled there, they achieve resources or other desirable objects that they are going to be able to use to improve life in the center. Anyway, there's our go away. There's one of our first, like, super obvious things of vehicular travel. Looks like the folks of the City of Tears traveled via, rickshaw? That theory could end up kind of recursive. Yep. You are correct. Oh, that was a screen tear. Hello. Lore. The great gates have been sealed. None shall enter, none shall leave. There are drums in the deep. They are coming. They are coming. Quirrel. The capital lies before us, my friend. What a somber place it seems, and one that holds the answers to many a mystery. I too have felt the pull of this place, though now I sit before it, I find myself hesitant to descend. Is it fear, I wonder, or something else that holds me back? The city looks to be built into an enormous cavern, and the rain pours down from cracks in the stone above. There must be a lot of water up there somewhere. I suppose if the cave row stays strong this long, it should hold for us. Before I leave this kingdom, I'd like to see where all that water comes from. What a sight it must be. If you look down from here, through the rain, you can just make out those twisted sentries, their husks, still stuck in endless patrol. I'd be cautious around them, my short friend. Their training will not have been forgotten. This city presents some formidable foes. Isn't this a wonderful spot for a rest? I so love the sound of the rain upon glass. Oh yeah, let's do that same exercise that we did with the greenhouse in Fungal Wastes. So, the thing that stands out to me first. Our color palette is blue, right? Which suggests, in the context of this game, lots of iron and shell work. Right? Where Fungal Wastes, sort of living things, are given greens and yellows in the game. The fact that this is all blue all the time suggests, iron and shell. And stone. Second thing that stands out to me. We got very tall pointy glass. Really some of the first obviously glass that we've seen. And the pointiness continues into these lamps, which are extremely finely created. So all this is suggesting status, all this is suggesting wealth, and all this is suggesting an extremely talented set of craftspeople. See also the geochests. In the Forgotten Crossroads, we know that these were just rocks with some shell stuck in them. Right, basically ore deposits. Here, those are actually like chests designed to contain stuff. And then there's like wrought iron everywhere. Ow. Ow. No, chat, this is why you just use spells. Because if you try and brute force with nail damage alone, you actually wind up rapidly in trouble. Because you don't earn enough. Better to spend 3 out of 9 soul for a spell or for healing. And if you're spending those 3 to avoid taking a damage, that is better than spending those 3 to heal from taking a damage. Anyway. Have you brought me another nail to be honed? Leave it on the ground and return later if you're still breathing. Oh, I thought you were someone else. After a nailsmith, are you? Well, you found one. I've not much for the talk, but if it's a nail that needs repair, then you've come to the right bug. Your own nail is in quite a sorry state. It's obviously not one of mine. Still, anything can be refined with enough effort and skill, even that broken blade. If you like, I can reforge your nail. It'll make the blade far more deadly. Nope. You're not interested then? Well, suit yourself. Only reason we're not. Traditional weapon of Halonest is blade is blunt with age and wear. Speaking of which. Now we'll do it. As you wish. I'll get to work then. Cutscenes! There we go, the reforging is complete. I found your nail's edge. You'll find it much stronger than it used to be. Head out there and test its strength against your foes. Now, Sharpened Nail. A traditional weapon of Halonest restored to lethal form. The above-mentioned skilled artisans? Exactly. Now, we are actually not going to attack or upgrade the nail any farther until quite late in this tour. Because, it's going to make fights harder if we keep upgrading the nail. So there's a bunch of stuff in this game that scales, first off of... First off of your health, and second off of what level upgrade your nail is at. And so, in the interest of not making things more difficult for ourselves, we are going to not be upgrading that until quite late. Hello? But first, the center on plot. Yeah, I haven't picked up Shaman Stone yet, have I? I'm dumb. I do need to pick up Shaman Stone before we do things. Alright, Zoe, we'll see you next time. Oh, Hornet, there you are. Hello. Do you know when Silksong is? Again we meet, little ghost. I'm normally quite perceptive. You, I underestimated, though I've since guessed the truth. You've seen beyond this kingdom's bounds. Yours is resilience born of 2 voids. It's no surprise that you've managed to reach the heart of this world. In so doing, you shall know the sacrifice that keeps it standing. If, knowing that truth, you'd still attempt a role in Halonest's perpetuation, seek the grave in ash, and the mark it would grant to one like you. No, wait, I didn't get a chance to ask you when Silksong is. Memorial to the Hollow Knight. In the black vault far above. Through its sacrifice, Halonest lasts eternal. Let's also meet Lem. Oh. We can't meet Lem quite yet. We are on the wrong side of the thing. Lem. By the way, that's horrifying. The water pouring out of the eyes is just not a good look. Don't do that. Like, if you're a crazy eccentric billionaire who can design things however they want, don't design things like that, please, for my sake. Anyway, while we're just running around, by the way, just a reminder, folks, if you have not yet, do consider joining the Discord, because we do, like, there's been so much history content recently that folks have been talking about over there that are extremely worth your time. Right, like, history and game scholarship has not calmed down recently. Like, I didn't get a chance to watch any of it yet, but there was a conference just earlier this week, wrapped up today actually, on medievalisms on the screen. Apparently was a very good conference, though looked like a lot of the folks there were doing things, kind of continuing projects that they previously had started, so nothing necessarily super duper new. Anyway. I come searching for rare items, have you? Well, hands off. This collection is mine, and I won't be selling to grubby little wanderers. Ah, Lem. Still, I imagine you come across many interesting items in your travels. Maybe you'd care to part with some. I'll offer a fair trade for each. No touching the antiques. My stock is not for sale. Still, if you manage to come up with any interesting trinkets during your travels, I may be willing to trade. Step over to the counter here and I'll see what you've got. There's a forgotten history hidden in these kingdoms' antiques, though few seem willing to look. Others come just to claw away at the cracks and ruin. Now this is true. It is you and me and Quirrel, as like the sum total of people interested, and cartographer arguably. The sum total of people who actually care about the kingdom's history. Scavengers and thieves. It's contemptible. You're the private collector. We've talked enough, I think. Relics need cleaning. Texts need deciphering. Out with you. This isn't a museum. Ah, Lem. These journals give us an interesting glimpse into the minds and hearts of those who lived before us. They're a common find, so I can't offer you too much for them. A wanderer's journal, eh? Though they're common finds about the kingdom, I much enjoy the deciphering of their text. Read together, they paint a morbid tale. Seems fate was unkind to most who travel within Hallownest's ruin. Looks like you don't have any relics on you. If you manage to find any in good condition, bring them to me and I'll give you a fair amount of geo for them. Fine. So. Lem is interesting, right? In-game, Lem is clearly meant to be a bit of a lore machine. Right, you find the collectibles, and Lem gives you, you find collectibles, in turn, Lem is going to give you lore tidbits that help you piece together the history. He doesn't, right, he basically serves to replace a lot of the... Hang on. Right, instead of having text themselves in item descriptions that you can decipher, Lem kind of just does that for you, and is supposed to fill out whatever tidbits there are. So we don't get really very many primary sources outside of the epigraphic inscriptions talked about. Yeah. Besides the epigraphic inscriptions we've seen earlier, I should say. You are a jerk. There we go. But he's also, you know, kind of a jerk, right? We aren't allowed to confirm what Lem tells us. We're just supposed to say, oh, Lem, as the seeker, knows best. Don't know that that's actually a true sentence. Certainly he is very knowledgeable, but he is also very much the stereotype of what the collector is and does. Right, the collector hoards things, effectively. Ow. Don't know why I did that. And while he gives us little tidbits, right, he's like, no, this is mine. I am the only one who may possess this hidden knowledge. Gives antiquarian vibes? Absolutely. You shouldn't try and hug enemies that explode? Oh. But they're so huggable. That doesn't go anywhere yet. Egg. Not just an egg, a rancid egg. I'm not sure why we picked it up, TBH. Ow. Egg. Alright, well. That wasn't too bad. Cartographer. 150 geo. And we are absolutely going to sit at this bench. Please allow me to bench. Thank you. And... isn't this a change from those twisting natural caverns? The rain does cast something of sadness upon it all, but the architecture is simply splendid. Treading such a difficult space is quite the challenge, though one I've eagerly undertaken. Perhaps you'd care to purchase a copy of my achievements so far? Yes. God. Costs so much money. Hello, Corner 4, my favorite Zote. Oi! Watch where you're going, you soggy vagabond. I don't want you splashing me. I've had a miserable time trying to keep dry. I am Zote the Mighty, a knight of great renown. If I decide that I'm going to stay dry, then that's what's going to happen. Curse this wretched city. Water and monsters constantly fall from above. It's no wonder this blasted kingdom fell to ruin. Have you seen them? The guards who still patrol this city even after dying? Being overly devoted to one's duties is no virtue. Okay, goodbye. We'll come back here later, actually. Oh, Zote. Oh boy. Who's ready for, big organ? Really? Heck. That didn't hit? Literally pixel perfect. Literally pixel perfect misses. I'm so talented at this game, y'all. The nail is a very interesting weapon technology. Different forms appear to seem to occupy the roles of both sword and spear, as well as being your trowel. This suggests either the nail making started very early in history, or it supplanted most other pointed weapons. True. I would suggest it's probably very early, for it being something that is both small and economical. Easy to make, highly efficient, generally good. Alright, who's ready for everything to go badly? Ow. Seriously? I knew you were one hit away. And then I stood inside of it. And lore. Record Appa, which I'm going to assume means A. The mind still limits us so. How to break past its constraints? To attain a pure focus. Is it even possible? Chat, do you think stylistically this is truncated? Right, this is truncated like we're seeing random notes? Or do you think that this is a deliberate choice? Right, because everyone we've met so far talks normally. Ish. Mostly. Zode excluded. But Zode's got a lot happening. Certainly no one talks like this. Truncated notes? I'd be inclined to agree. Though in that case, I do have to wonder what this literal pile of Wanderer's journals is for. Ignore the fact that I just broke them. But literal pile of Wanderer's journals at the base of this note. Right? This is an awfully big thing to be used for notes. So even though it does have that form, it's interesting in that there's a tension between the sort of random scribbles that we have otherwise seen and the details of sort of this high epigraphic structure. I got the parry too. Rude. Look at how many notes there are, right? All of these, to me, look like they are notes, right? When we think, this is our famous Hellenist libraries, right? This is effectively a bibliothèque, a scroll case. It just instead of scrolls, we have shells. Like most other video games, the case full of scrolls does not actually contain information. It contains the concept of information. And in this particular place, it contains the concept of forgotten and no longer desired information, given how they're literally piled everywhere. And you can just kind of bust them to pieces. Ow. So, yeah. I don't know, I just want to acknowledge that tension, because I think it does, heck. I was hoping to heal up off of that, not make the problem worse. Thank you. Yeah. Let me see if where was I? Oh yeah, the idea of knowledge. Right? When we think about scrolls, when we think about, like, writing things down, like, what is the point of writing things down? In some way, the idea is that there is information that you are communicating, and that the act of writing something down serves to preserve information to be communicated, either to your future self or to a future other. Right? Is that a reasonable assumption of kind of as to why people write. If it is, the idea of writing that deliberately has no... I mean... That opens up a bunch of things, right? That opens up the potential for writing that is deliberately meaningless, right? So, when I say writing that is deliberately meaningless, I specifically am referring to things like, Finnegan's Wake, or the Jabberwocky. Ow. And, it opens up the other potential, right, of things that, using the form of writing, and the form of whatever the book looks like in this, to understand, to communicate the concept of an information-dense society without actually having to create any information, right? So it's like, becomes like a meta-knowledge, right? The purpose of the book and the scroll in so many of these games is not to communicate knowledge, but to communicate that this is a culture who has a lot of knowledge. And now we're just gonna beat up Soulmaster. Wow! What a clean fight. Oh, Soulmaster 100% deserves it. Ow. What now? Not a single bad thing happened in the background of this room. What are you talking about? Nonsense. Alright, D-Dive. Movement ability number 3. That's 3 out of like 6 pieces we need to start actually doing a nice deep tour of this whole space. Oh yeah, have some monies. Monies. Very needed, because we are really short on cash. Wait, holy. That's not good. We're at 1234 out of about 2200 that we want to have right now. Like, we got a lot of stuff to do. But yeah, as this whole room suggests, The experiments into soul were primarily promulgated via egregious amounts of violence. Oh good, there's a Hellenist seal. Helpful. And, you know, raise your hand if you're surprised by unethical human or bug sacrifice in this case, I suppose. God, there's so much death. Like, there's so many dead bugs here. Sadly, I didn't see a lot of the things in here that gave us good hints as to, you know, what they were attempting to accomplish. We only found the one thing of that, how to preserve life indefinitely and break past things. So, you know, the classic, questing for human life or for eternal life by virtue of committing murder. And seeking to enhance physical capabilities through the egregious murder of as many people as possible, TBH. And creating horrible twisted warriors. And hugely unethical experiments. Oh, 100%. That is a core question. Is a spoiler future event at all worth it? I think as far as it goes, the answer appears to be probably not. Like, not definitively not, but probably not. But what there actually is a whole lot of, assumption and paranoia. And not a lot of, you know, good oomph. No, Hellenist seal, eh? Very interesting, this. Do you know of the kingdom's 5 great knights? They're revered figures of Hellenist, often mentioned in the annals of the kingdom, but only as a group. Both their names and appearance seem to have been expunged from history. So long has passed since their time, it'd be a grand achievement to discover their identities. They sure will be. Well, that was a clean sanctum. I am very happy with how that sanctum went. And that gives us access to Crystal Peak, which will give us C-Dash, which will get us Dream Nail, which will get us everything else. And yeah, there's really only one reason why I want to... I mean, just the sooner we get, honestly, just the sooner we get Lumify Lantern, the happier I'll be. But, like, it's not necessarily the most urgent. Just... That's not the right spot. Nailed it. Right, as we start piecing together a better theory of the historical space of the game, we'll get into more granular, like, theoretical discussions of, like, you know, the heck is going on. Turns out having an answer to that particular question is very important. And useful, right? Like, I can promise future things entirely about, you know, who... thinking complexly about historical, the historical record and who's present and who isn't present in it. There's a lot of folks not present in it. And so trying to construct those questions becomes, like, really important for... well, lots of stuff. Ow. I don't think there's anything up there, so we're not gonna worry about that. Bench, and I'm still so short on cash. 1477 out of... I still need 2200 for, like, shopping. You've opened several Stag stations now, haven't you? I'm thankful for the opportunity to once more travel through the kingdom. As I visit more places, I feel my memories returning to me, like the stagways of my mind are running once more. Continue to open the stations and you'll have my deepest gratitude. Yay! Oral history. I remember this station well. A common trip it was. Goods from all over the kingdom were transported here. Not a lot was sent back the other way, though. Hey, center periphery theory? Did someone say more center periphery theory? Because that's what I heard. But, you know, as we return here, once again, to Dirtmouth, we will take our second ad break. This is going to be the final one of the stream. I think I've only got about probably 40 minutes or so left before I desperately will need to sign off for the sake of my shoulder. So, once again, we do take ad breaks. They're roughly every hour. Looks like they've been more like every hour and 15 minutes this time. But we do that just so we can all get up, stretch, have a good time. I will leave you with Dirtmouth's good tunes and some snails going on a greatly ambitious quest. But we'll be back in about 3 minutes with more Hollow Knight, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. Hope y'all enjoyed that ad break, and remember, subscribers do theoretically get an ad-free viewing experience, assuming Twitch cooperates. If you're just tuning in, welcome. My name is Adam, this is Little History, as always, and today we are doing the beginnings of a historical tour of Hollow Knight. It's a game I know fairly well, but we're just gonna, this series of streams is gonna be eventually like a near complete playthrough of the game, but where we are wandering around, talking, you know, historical methods, how do we approach games as with history and as history, and kind of exploring the constructed world and some of the assumptions underlying it. We've already had some good fun tidbits on shamanism, on the very sad times of several people, and a whole bunch of good stuff. So, I believe the next goal in this final part of the stream is to get up to the resting grounds. I think if we can get to the Dream Nail, we'll be in a phenomenal place, and we'll have a good time to be prepared for lots of stuff starting next stream to kind of go area by area and be far more thorough. That being said, in order to feel good about where we're at with Dream Nail, there's a handful of things that'll need to get done in fairly short succession. Firstly, let's just check in on how Mila's doing. Mila? 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 Bury my body, cover my shell. What meaning in darkness? Yet here I remain. I'll wait here forever, till I'm done. We can't see. Luckily, nothing important happened. Thank you for letting me know. Oh boy. So, you know those work songs we talked about earlier, as a potential source for information? An open question, the one that I think the answer to is probably yes. You know, who is the perspective of the people in the work song? For at least one of them, the forgotten one, it looks an awful lot like the song is from the perspective of the final boss of the game. Another way of putting that is, another way of reading that is that instead of the song originally being like that this is kind of the song as accessed a like semi-conscious layer through which the radiance is bubbling out. Bury, body, cover, shell, darkness, no meaning dangerous, still remain light. Again. Mila? Well, till light blooms again. That sounds like a good thing, right? Right? Right. Oh dear. It's such an interesting source. I mean, Mila is a character with just so much like, well, potential power, potentially interesting stuff. Unfortunately, a lot of stuff that's very hard to make heads or tails of. Cause, yeah. How on earth, where do you even start? Ow. No. Well, I don't know how many bugs you've met that really love being out in sunlight. Oh hey Dash, how was Hornet? Hornet was easy. Hornet was not my best Hornet fight, but Hornet was still not exactly an enormous challenge. My Soul Master was clean, though. Like, that is one of the best Soul Masters I've ever had. Alright, let's go fight another boss. This boss should not really be a challenge. Good boss, good boss. God, what a strange space. By the way, this is another religious space for the, Theocratic cult that is, Halonest. Did you know, have you realized yet that, there is a lot of explicitly religious language being used to describe, the center of the kingdom's capital? Right, it was pilgrimage. Going to see the Heart of Halonest is going on a pilgrimage. The Pale King is both king and creator, according to Monomon. This is a religious site, presumably based on the altar space there, to the Pale King, identified quite clearly by this four-pointed crown. Have you realized that this whole place is a horrifying theocratic nightmare? Ooh, you surprised me. Hello, hello. Come in, sweetling. Come in and make yourself at home. I'm Salubra, and this is my cozy little charm shop. Did the townsfolk ever tell you to come and visit me? Yes, this is a lovely little village, isn't it? Warm and intimate and full of love. What were we talking about? Oh yes, charms. I can see you started your own collection. Very nice. I'll show you some of my own. You can take one home with you if you like. Shaman's done. Mine now. Do you wear a lot of charms at once? It's a lot of fun, isn't it? Mixing and matching to get the perfect combination. I don't know whether you've noticed, but some charms seem to like each other. Yes? When charms like each other, they shine even brighter and sing even more sweetly. Even more reason to try all sorts of fun and surprising combination of charms. You'll show me when you have a new favorite, right? It's rare enough that someone enters my store, but even rarer to meet one so striking. Those impressive horns, that fierce weapon, the air of mystery. Oh, it's enough to make me swoon. I mean, that's sweet of you. Salubra. Warm and intimate and full of life, you say. I'm really getting the good vibes out of this place. Salubra gives the same vibes as the Grey Fairies from Breath of the Wild. True. Oh, you oaf, you wield your nail like a club. Yes, me. How much deeper do we have to go? Oh? What? Who are you? I see. This old village. What a strange dream to have led me down here. If you hadn't found me, I don't think I would have ever woken. I'm sly. Usually I live an uneventful life up in Dartmouth. The air in these ruins doesn't agree with me, so I'd best be getting back. If you return above, come and see me. I'm probably the friendliest face there, and I can thank you properly for your good deed. You're exploring then? Very brave. Plenty of courageous wanderers have been lost to the hunger of these old caverns. You have your nail, though, and I can tell just by looking that you know how to wield it. Oh, this place is mega haunted. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this whole town's haunted. Alright. Let's see who's next. What's next? How am I going to raise this much Geo? That's the core question. We are the ghost. Where am I going to go to raise 6? Almost 600 geo. Easy. Well, that still is useful. That's not really what I wanted, but it's useful. Ha! Yes, that does trip the spoiler clause. But G is in general an odd one. I guess I could do Monarch. Monarch might not be a bad idea. Oh, also. We haven't opened this yet. Hello, teaser. Ah, pale thing. Use these old lines. Pathetic. A real warrior carries himself to combat. He has no need for such convenience. Leave me be. It's the arena I seek. I've already wasted far too long on these cursed roads. Friend. There's a couple hundred in... I see another text. Rest upon the bench. There's something unpleasant about that one. But the Stag Station's doors are open to all. If you request passage, I'll offer it gladly. My duty as a stag far outweighs any personal distaste. It was a long time ago, but I remember when these highways and crossroads pulsed with life. These are the paths I first carried passengers through when I was young. Those travelers are long gone, yet still I remain. Now it seems it's just you and I, and the further creatures scratching and squirming all around us. Let's see. So. Let's think. There's another grubber friend there. This is so little cash that's like not even worth. 1270. Let's go check in with Grubfather. I have like 4 friends? 4 new friends. There's 20. That was another 30. That's another 40. That's another 50. 50 and a mass fragment. Alright, so now we're down below 400, so I think I think a visit to Lem might do it. I think I already have... Yeah, you're right. It is down. I haven't collected that one yet. Damn it. It was nearly cool. Now, there's no reason to actually do that, but it was nearly cool. The grandfather rewards you for freeing his kids. Exactly. It's super cute. Alright, this is gonna get spicy. Seriously. As always, look at the backgrounds for terror and pain. Cause, oh boy. Ow. Not even close. Not even close. I did think he dropped some cash too. I'll be honest. I did think he dropped more than... the Monarch dropped more than that. So the difficulty is that this is only 60. There is another grub that I haven't done in this area. It's the spike bounce one. Let's see, where is that? Oh well. I can just do the timing puzzle here. There's another mask shard, so we're close to another mask, which is awesome. But again, we still don't have a lot of cash. Do I have two? I only have one Wanderer's Journal, so yeah, I literally don't have enough right now. Even if I wanted to just go to Lem and just buy my way in. Hmm. Hmm. How frustrating. Scurry did a run where they named all the grubs. True. Fireborn did a run where all the grubs followed. Followed him. And that was chaotic. Let's gently call that a chaotic run. Oh, it was an April Fool's. I think it was an April Fool's run. Because, you know, Fireborn notoriously... does not enjoy grubs. Exactly. So that's another 70. Or 60. That puts me at close. Close to enough. I need 1800, by the way. If anyone is curious as to what I'm doing, I'm literally having to grind Geo because I need 1800 before I can do the thing I want to do. Oh, that's a Hellenist Seal, not a Wanderer's Journal. But that was dumb of me. Literally, that was all the cash I needed for ages right there. Well, alright. We're gonna try and be fast and good. City storerooms. And then we're gonna, I guess, just speed through, Crystal Peak. And then we'll call this stream... Yeah. I think we can speed run. I think we can just do the speed route for Crystal Peak. Ow. Plus Crystal Peak plus D-Dark plus Dreamnail. Getting 2 Dreamnail. And when we wake up after picking up the Dreamnail, that's what we'll call stream. Where am I going? Going down this way. Ow. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I swear. I mean, by next stream I think makes more sense anyway, right? Because that's when we're actually going to start going area by area and being thorough about it. By the way, Len just said that there's nothing of particular value to be gleaned from each one individually. Mind you, they do keep a nice shine about them, and there's nothing wrong with appreciating something purely on aesthetic merits. True. And let's sell this one too for fun. It gives us some flexibility. Another Wanderer's Journal? I might not offer a lot for each, but they're plentiful about the caverns. I doubt you'll find another willing to make trade for Geo. Okay, well. Voila. Big save strats. Bench warping. Ah, hello. I knew we'd meet again. How do you like my cozy little store? made myself pretty comfortable here selling old trinkets to travelers like yourself. Playing a triple O, I have several items that may improve your chance of survival. Lantern. Frickin' 1800. Ridiculous. Mask shard! Since it's cheap and we're here. It is a 6th mask, which makes a couple things harder, but most things easier. I'll be honest. And we're gonna have all of them by the end anyway, so... Hello? No. Nothing new? Alright. But yeah, the plan for future ones, as we get closer... No, please don't do one today, because otherwise we'll be here for even longer. And we're trying to go fast. But yeah, starting next stream, we're gonna go much more area by area and try and clear them out. Because we'll have Dream Mail, we'll have everything else. Not here. We will... Let's see, we'll have Dream Mail, we'll have C-Dash, so we'll be able to go fast. We'll start at the beginning of the game, try and get things like Spore Shroom, and we'll try and just much more clear out areas too. Am I dumb? Okay. We're good. I almost thought I glitched into the wall, which would have been very bad. Hooray! Crystal Peak! But yeah, we'll try and clear out the areas with all of our movement being able to go fast. And we'll use that to accomplish useful stuff, like, uncovering lots of lore markers and being able to actually explore thoroughly. We won't be able to quite do everything because we'll be missing, let's see. 1, 2, 3. We'll be missing several major movement abilities. Ow. Thank you. But we should be able to get pretty good with just right, because we'll be missing... What will we be missing movement-wise? We'll be missing... Monarch's Wings is probably the big one. Yeah, actually, it's just Monarch's Wings, really. And, I guess if we're being fancy... Ow. We'll be missing, Strobos. Right, if I'm not skilled enough to do... I don't know why I'm including them as an option, because I'm not skilled enough to do them. But, you know, Shriek Pogos. To really do goofy stuff. And we'll be missing Shake Cloak. That's the other big movement ability. So, those two will lock us out of some stuff for a relatively long time. But we'll do what we can. Shade... Well... it's a new speedrun tech. I assume you mean the Shriek Pogos? As the... heck. Yeah, it turns out, if you have Howling Wraiths or Abyss Shriek, you can in fact pogo off your own spell. I don't actually have either of those, so that's not super impactful, but The thoughts there. Ow. Also ow. I don't know, I don't actually know how to do them, I basically just know that they exist. Do we know why there's a facility still mining gems with no one around? The same reason that there are guards patrolling the city that has no living people in it. No living bugs in it. You know what I mean. The whole world is haunted. What it's haunted by and with, that's a different question. That's a raw question of, is it haunted? Yes. Always yes. There's very little alive in this, ow. Very little alive in this world. Oh, friend. Alright, now... should be here for the dark room, for just run fast, be good. Ah, fuck. That's alright. Totally deliberate damage boost. Yup. 100% deliberate. Nothing to worry about. And that is enough for me to be able to do what I need to, which is de-dive that. I'm just doing this for consistency. Oh yeah, crystallized mound. Mounds... I mean, it is always exciting when we hear mounds mentioned. Because, it strongly suggests, you know, the tumulus, the Bronze Age burial mound, as the primary, like, thing of note. Ah. A classic. A classic right there. Let's try that again, Fine. Good enough. Okay. Still good enough. Exactly, right? Let's get that thought in order. That's an unsurprising layering with shamanism. The idea that there is, burial mounds, and therefore a presumption of ancestral worship, right? That the burial place of one's ancestors is a place of religious significance, and therefore a place that is, particularly suited to and accessible for shamans, in this case, snails. This area sucks. Tell me you do not also get wombo comboed in this space, in this particular room. Like, come on. It's so easy to get completely wombo comboed in the crystallized mound, because you lose 2 hearts if you miss one jump. Everyone gets wombo combo, you don't need to make fun of me for it. Okay, maybe a little bit. To protect the vessel, the dreamers lay sleeping. Monomon the teacher in her archive, surrounded by fog and mist. Lurian the watcher in his spire looking over the city. Hera the beast in her den amidst the deep darkness beyond the kingdom. Through their devotion, Hallownest lasts eternal. Dreamer locations added to map. Go no further, little shadow. What compels its climb out of the darkness? What compels its return to this sacred kingdom? Once again, we have the Theocratic angle here of the king as religious head and place as divine. A call from beyond the seals? By the vessel? Or by that captive light? Would the seals break? They cannot be undone. But the vessel weakens. That plague springs anew. They must be undone. Yet still our seals remain. Our duty holds. It must be cast away. Our duty holds. It shall be done. What compels it? It's the mounts. Yeah, look, I'm just a bug with a trowel. I don't know what they're talking about. All these things compelling us. I'm a bug with a trowel. Fade away, little shadow. Fade away and let us sleep in peace. Azu, I do this all the time. That is my primary strategy in the Umu fight, is miss every platform and die. Is this a good strategy? No. Is it the strategy I go for anyway? Oh yeah. Just like that. Beautiful. No. Luckily, I don't lose hearts for the only time. We love dream sections. That one wasn't... Seriously, I hit the button this time too. Every time you see fiction doing generic shamanism, and ancestor worship with some sparkling racism, you get a powerful urge to write fiction based on historical European worship. Yeah. What a terrible fate they visited upon you. To cast you away into this space between body and soul? Will you accept their judgment and fade slowly away? Or will you take the weapon before you and cut your way out of this sad, forgotten dream? I don't know, this moth statue is totally reliable. Taking the dream nail. Cut through the veil between dreams and waking. And so, of course, our historical tour soon is going to care very much about the dreams and the ways in which different peoples in Hallownest relate to dreams. That sounds suspiciously like a job for next time. That sounds like suspiciously like a job for next time. So, I hope you all enjoyed this first one, kind of the setup to our grand historical tour. We'll probably just stream this kind of for the next while. We got all the movement abilities we'll need in order to just really tear through a lot of the areas. Not quite all of them, but almost all of them. We're missing Ismus here, we're missing the Shade Cloak, and we're missing Monarch's Wings for our base abilities. But we'll pick those up as we need them to keep exploring. We're gonna basically just go area by area, take a look at what we find, and start piecing together the history of Hallownest, and seeing how we actually go about doing that, you know. Not just creating the results, because Mossbag will always know more than I do, but showcasing some of the process and having a nice chill time, chatting some history while we do it. So, if that sounds exciting to you, do make sure you hit that follow button to be notified for all future streams. And do consider subscribing to help support the channel. Dash Fox, I'm glad you had a lot of fun. Sounds like people have been enjoying this one immensely. Hopefully we'll see a bunch of folks. Probably Tuesday. We'll probably just try and get back to Tuesdays and Saturdays for the next couple weeks. So we'll probably be back with this then. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. We're actually going to be rating people. The Gerard the Completionist is doing a weekend stream on video game preservation with the History and Games organization. So we're going to be rating over there, I think, to hang out, hear Kelsey Lewin and some of the other folks at that fabulous organization, hear about their work to preserve game history, because the Lord knows the game industry is not doing a good job on that. We're going to roll the credits while I get that raid set up, but thank you all for tuning in, and hopefully I will see you all on the next one, right? Alright, bye, but don't go too far, because, raids.